Welcome. Let's see if we can reduce the stress from your body and maybe even work on the symptoms. So, we're going to do a guided release session meditation. And the goal is to make you first feel a little bit calmer. You don't have to perfect this, you don't have to be extremely calm, but a little bit of calmness and presence will then make you able to dive deeper in your emotional body to deal with the root cause behind the symptoms. So, are you ready? Snuggle up. Make yourself comfortable. Let's do some practical healing work together. And I'd like you to notice how you're feeling right now. Notice your symptoms. What else is there? And notice your heart rate. And once you've made yourself comfortable, in order to calm down the nervous system, we first have to arrive in the here and now. That will give messages of safety towards your nervous system. So observe where you are. Maybe look at the room. And maybe look at something that you haven't looked at for a while. And try to look at it as if you're looking at it for the very first time. This sort of gives the caveman's instinct that you are safe in your cave, there is no danger, and that it is time to wind down. What else is there that you can look at? Do you see colors, shapes? Don't look at the things that you need to do, because right now, this is the most important thing. Because whatever you think that you need to do will go much, much easier after this session. After your nervous system have calmed down, and maybe after we have addressed the symptoms. This is a very gentle beginner session, so don't worry. We don't force you into doing extreme things. And then, is there anything else that you can hear? And then I'd like you to focus on your breath. How does it flow? Is it stocking? Is it going deep? Is it shallow? Is it irregular? And just notice it, observe it, and via the breath, you connect with your body. Because when you're stressed, you disconnect from the body. You go into fight or flight, fighting against something, running away from something. But connecting with your body is a step back. It's a signal of safety. And in the beginning, your heart rate might still be nervous, anxious, irregular, and the same for your breath. So let's see if it improves after this guided session. If you feel like it, take a few deep breaths, hold it for a while, and then release it all at once. And maybe as well release extra tension that you still had in your body. Now, another thing that could have been present for you is like a feeling that is amplified by the condition of having symptoms or a chronic illness. Something you really don't like being dependent, having to live with someone, or not being able to provide, not being able to be independent. Maybe you feel weak because, you are having signs of weakness. Maybe you feel judged, or maybe you even judge yourself for not being able to keep up with yourself. Maybe you feel unworthy. Usually there is always one of these feelings available. And when we outrun these feelings, by thinking, for example, by doing stuff, or by distracting, what we're doing then is that we're activating the fight or flight mechanism of the nervous system against these feelings. But these feelings aren't nice. These feelings are pretty difficult. But running away from it makes it even harder, because then you're also stressed on top of that feeling. So that's not going to make you feel better. So have you found that feeling? And if you haven't found that feeling, if you don't have it, then that's okay as well. Then think about the symptoms that are annoying you. And then we allow everything from the symptoms, to the feelings, and maybe even the thoughts that try to distract you from it, or that try to stop you from doing this, because you still have the feeling that it's not safe. Be with yourself. Sometimes the feeling that is being enhanced while you're having a chronic illness is loneliness. And the cure to loneliness is to stay with yourself. And that's what we're doing right now. This is powerful work. And this is not something that you have to achieve, but you can be very proud of yourself to be here. Give yourself company. Make yourself worthy by giving yourself your attention. Tell yourself that it is very strong to allow yourself to be weak. And give the symptom space. And whatever you picked, whether it is the symptoms or the slightly emotional feelings or big emotional feelings, if you want, we can tap on it. Tapping, EFT tapping, helps you to allow what is, and therefore to reduce the stress response. This can be symptoms, but basically everything in your life. So if you feel like it, join me. And if you don't feel like it, you can also imagine tapping these points. So we start with the top of the head. I am feeling so, and then just fill in the blanks. What are you feeling? Eyebrows. It's too much to feel this. Side of the eyes. I am struggling with this feeling. And we don't do this to tap it in, but simply to acknowledge it so that we don't have to be stressed because of it. Under the eyes. So much. And then whatever is valid for you. Under the nose. I can't take this. Under the mouth. Too much pressure. Collarbones. I want to outrun and distract from my feelings because it's too hard, too difficult. Under the arms. I wish I wouldn't feel this way. Top of the head. I am feeling eyebrows. I feel. And it's very powerful to name exactly what you're feeling with the right word, because allows it. Side of the eyes. I am feeling so much. Under the eyes. All this. Under the nose. It's too hard to deal with it. Under the mouth. I'm exhausted by it. Collarbones. I really dislike feeling this. Under the arms. All this fatigue. Or I filled in the blank. Yeah. So this is truth tapping. And we did 2 rounds. Feel free to do more rounds. And then take a few deep breaths. And then let it all go at once. And while you do that, I'd like you to focus on the surface. What are you feeling? Is it the bed, the couch, the chair, the floor? And really focus on the points where you make contact. Reconnect with your body. Breathe through it. Maybe also the feelings that we were just talking about it. Maybe you can already feel this physically. And if so, you can put your hand on it. For example, loneliness or shame, weakness, for example, in the heart or the chest. Maybe fear, the higher chest, upper chest. Or maybe anger or anything else like it. Just put your hand on it. And right now we're staying with yourself. You are staying with yourself. So it might be that the emotion that we talked about is being perceived by the limbic system as a danger. And in that moment, your symptoms can amplify. So a lot of the times when symptoms fluctuate, people don't really understand why. But right now, after dealing with these symptoms or with these emotions, you might experience more symptoms. And that's okay. Be gentle. I'm not going to push you through it. But it is what it is. And if this is the case for you, then it's already a very good sign, because now you know exactly what is being perceived as a danger by the limbic system of the brain. Breathe through it and give yourself company. You deserve it. You're good enough. You're okay. Maybe right now you don't feel it, which is, of course, logical. But the better you get at calming your nervous system down and to then dive in the underlying emotional wounds, the easier your life is going to become. Because then you can influence your symptoms. That doesn't mean that you can do that immediately, but over time it becomes easier, and maybe one day you'll manage to have a full release. That means that you cry, or shake, shiver, sweat, etc. But you go all the way, and that's almost impossible in the beginning. And then after that, there's nothing anymore that the limbic system perceives as a danger. And then all of these things that happen inside of your body as a reaction towards this in the freeze response of the autonomic nervous system is no longer necessary. And that's when people can experience immediate improvement. But don't put too much pressure on yourself, because if you go in a little bit and a little bit and a little bit, you can make gradual improvement. That is, of course, until the next layer of stress comes in. And if that's so, then we just repeat the process. So let's step with me. Even though I'm feeling this way, I know I'm going to be fine. Or I believe I'm going to be fine. Eyebrows. I can do this. Side of the eyes. My symptoms and feelings are real. Under the eyes. Yet I believe that there is a way out. Under the nose. I can do this. Under the mouth. I can heal. Collarbones. I'll start accepting myself every day a little bit more. Top of the head. I can do this. I can heal. Eyebrows. I will heal. Side of the eyes. It's okay to struggle. Under the eyes. The feelings and emotions and symptoms are real. Under the mouth. It's okay to struggle with it. Or under the nose. Under the mouth right now. I know there is a way out. Collarbones. I can heal. Under the arm. Every day I'll accept myself a bit more. Is there any spot in your upper body right now that feels heavier when you breathe through it? For example, you feel something squeezing in your solar plexus, something heavy, maybe in the gut, some turmoil in the chest. And do you have symptoms as well at the same time? Because if you have, then these feelings along your organs might be responsible for your symptoms, because that's where we process the emotion. So instead of concentrating on symptoms, I'd like you to concentrate on your upper body and breathe through it. We don't have to resolve it right now, because the longer you breathe through it, the easier it becomes to process. You can put your hand on it again. And maybe you already know what feeling this is, whether it is shame, anger, guilt, fear, sadness, you name it. And then the question is, what does it need? I think it basically always wants your attention, but then maybe something else as well. So breathe through it and imagine that you are loving this, that it is an aspect of you, and that you're basically marrying yourself, becoming self-partnered. Do something nice for yourself and for this feeling. You know, when we have a partner, we maybe cook for them, take care for them more than we actually take care about ourselves. Let's reverse that. We can still be nice for others, of course, but let's be good with ourselves first. So spend time with yourself. Accept everything, from your thoughts, from your distractions, your symptoms, your feelings. And if you can, until it's no longer able or pleasurable, stay with yourself, because that reduces the fight or flight reaction. People think that there is something wrong with their nervous system, But what they don't realize is that they're chronically in a state of resistance towards maybe symptoms or emotions or thoughts or situations. And we cannot change life when we're chronically stressed. So you first have to take a step back. And then from that safety and calmness, can you actually do something effective? And it doesn't have to be finished, whatever you need to do. You can come back to it tomorrow. You can do it in a slower pace. Because staying with yourself is the objective. Your attention towards yourself. So can you say, I mean, it's a pretty big introduction, but can you right now say to yourself something very, very kind and nice, like a compliment, and see what that does to you? Does it make you soften up? Does it make you maybe feel that you need to cry? And if so, please do it. Because my motto is, a few tears a day will keep the doctor away. And that's especially true for chronic illnesses and mind-body symptoms. And breathe through it. How does your heart rate feel right now? Has it improved? Is it maybe more irregular? How is your breath? Is it more stable, calmer, deeper? How are your symptoms? How are your stress levels? Are you sleepier? A lot of times when you really start to relax, you start yawning, become really heavy. I don't call this tiredness. I call this sleepiness and heaviness in a good way. So write down in the comments if you noticed an effect after being with yourself for a while. If you're calmer. And thanks for doing that. Thanks for being here with me. This is a beginner session. In the release program, we have more advanced sessions to really sometimes help and squeeze the stress out of your body. But in the beginning, we can't do that because people are not prepared. I hope you understand. So I would like to give you a big hug. Thanks for being with me.